Hey, nerds, and welcome to the gutter. My name is Steve-O. What?
That's right. I was holding it in. His rice comment.
Prior to the
That's, yeah.
Yeah. Well, shit. I'm Steve-O. This is the Gutter's podcast. This is season 3, episode 9. We're going to talk about loot boxes, among other things, today. Over here to my left is Corporate Cal.
Hello.
To my right is Bree Senpai.
Hello.
Over on the end of the couch is Raven One.
It's me here on the end.
Lead?
It says me here on the end.
I like to be called Raven One.
You're called
My
Raven
Twitch
One.
channel is Raven One Lead.
Okay, that's fine. So we'll start off with our traditional question, and everybody in chat, let me know what you guys have been playing. What you've been playing?
Who are you starting with?
Well, God, who wants to start? Shit, it's been a few weeks since we had a Raven. We'll go with you first.
Realm got a new update.
What's new in the update?
A lot of stuff. Not a lot from the outsider's perspective. They did a lot of balancing
minor
things.
things.
Yeah.
So I saw a
minor
thing that I
balancing
either didn't
things.
notice before or is new. It gives you a small announcement now entering some area.
Yes.
That's new?
That is new. That is new in this update. I hate it. I don't mind the announcement, but it plays a sound also.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't need extra sounds in your Battle Royale game.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not that it's a loud sound that like covers up other sounds. They were thinking about it, and so they're like, oh, we don't want this to cover up other sounds. We'll just make this like a really quiet, like a little. But the thing is, until I figured out what it was, every time I'd enter or leave like an area, I'd be like, is there somebody fucking here? Like. I'd like spend like 20 minutes walking around in a circle.
around here.
Yeah, I kept hearing a thing.
Did you not read the patch update?
Ooh, Sims 4 Vampire.
Yeah, no, I did actually.
Wicked.
And it mentions that you now get a notification, and like I saw the text that comes up next to the map that
You
says
should have been able to pre-screen that audio file or something.
But it did not. Yeah, but it did not mention anything about an audio cue that accompanies. They just said notification.
I feel like in a BR game there should be as little like UI sounds or flavor sounds as possible. Everything should be sort of diegetic, like in the world of the game.
Yes.
If a sound is heard, it should be able to be heard by heard.
Here?
If a sound is heard, it should be heard by everyone.
Sound is here. You should
Yeah,
is
which is
made,
how
it should be heard by
like they do with the forge when you light off a forge or if something's going on. Like you can hear that from the surrounding area. But this like entering and leaving the area thing, like it still kind of screws me up. I haven't been able to play a ton with the new work schedule and everything.
Yeah.
But like it's still kind of screwing me up a bit.
Well, congratulations on the new job as well.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Where do you work?
I work at a motorcycle dealership now.
Oh, wow.
As their parts guy.
Good for you.
We'll jump into chat and see what they've been playing. Sims 4 is Shark. Vampire expansion. Spent over a day just building a house. That's what Nerdez does in Sims. She's just like doing the layout of the house. That's her main bit. Mark's playing crappy idle games on my phone and on Congregate. I didn't know Congregate still existed.
What is
And I think
Congregate?
I've said I didn't know Congregate still existed pretty recently as well. It's a web-based game platform where you can play games in browser, and it's a bunch of little mini games and micro games
like
and stuff
Newgrounds?
like that. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Is it like the little T-Rex jumpy game that Google lets you do if you're not online?
Yes, it's probably stuff like that. There's actually an achievement game that I really liked where you're this little elephant and the goal of the game is to unlock every achievement. But each achievement is like, you went left, achievement unlocked. You went right, achievement unlocked. You jumped, achievement unlocked. And so you're just like sort of just doing the stuff to, I like that game. That was a good one. Let's see. The game guy is upset, sad, and disappointed beyond belief. Is that with, you've been playing the Ghost Recon Breakpoint? Is that the name of it? The new Ghost Recon game. He got to play the demo of it.
Oh, cool.
Which I'm really excited about. Shepperton is getting anxiety playing competitive Fortnite and dipping back into Destiny 2.
Oh.
Those would be, anxiety ridden. Final Fantasy 14 is consuming Anisama's soul. Yeah. That's MMO. The MMO Final Fantasy.
Yep.
Yes, so what about you, Bree? What you been playing?
Oh, I bought Cuphead for the Switch.
Oh, Cuphead is so
It is
fucking
very
hard.
fun.
It is fun.
It's hard as fuck.
It is.
I just
hard
have
as
to
shit.
study their moves. Like,
But, yeah.
I just gotta...
It's a lot of repeat. It's
I
a
just
lot of
gotta
memorization.
repeat and just remember what they do, and that's about it. And then I bought Stardew Valley for the Switch, and that's fun. And then I felt like I was playing something else.
God, Nerdez and I got to the
remember.
3rd island, I think, of the 3 islands, or maybe there's 4 islands. But we got to Isle 3 in Cuphead, and
I think there's 3 and then a final.
and like a final
With the-
bit.
Yeah, with the devil.
Yeah. Oh man.
They're
So-
hard
oh,
though.
God.
They are hard, but
I
they're really
quit.
fun.
I got to island number 2, and I was just like, all right, I beat one of them, and I was like, I don't have the patience
well,
anymore.
I
Yeah.
got off of it because
gotta take breaks
I
from
bought
that
Stardew
game.
Valley and Cuphead at the same time, but I was really stuck on Cuphead for a while. But
You're playing
then,
solo or co-op?
Solo. But then my roommate bought Stardew Valley 2 or Stardew Valley as well, and it's co-op on the Switch, and so we just play that.
Oh right, yeah. What about?
Oh, sorry, she said Switch. That just reminded me. Realm Royale is going to come to Switch.
It already is.
It's on?
Yeah, I think so. Because I was looking through the games today and I was like, oh, that's what he's always talking about. And like
Yeah.
now I knew what it
Yeah.
was.
It's free. You should give it a shot.
Oh, maybe.
free.
It's like the
$0.
I would say that it is the fun version of Fortnite.
Oh, okay. Maybe I will.
That's how I would personally describe it. But
Maybe.
uh,
Other than that, I haven't played anything else.
I mean that's a fair bit.
Yeah.
Are you going to pick up Dauntless when it comes out on the Switch,
Oh,
or have you
so I
given
played
any
it-
thought to Dauntless at
friends
all?
I played it on the PlayStation and I didn't like it because it just reminded me of Monster Hunter and I prefer Monster
Basically
Hunter.
what it is.
And it just totally copied them, so I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
It just ruined my whole vibe for it.
Well,
But it's free.
but it's
Yeah,
free.
no, it was cool, and the customization reminded me of Fortnite. Like, it kind of looks the same, and I was just like, ew.
a similar graphical style, like the sort of WoW Fortnite.
Yeah, so I just
Animated
didn't
kinda thing.
really get with it.
Yeah, Nick's over here so blue it looks like a glitch in the graphics render of your head. It is super blue. Where's the Steve-O camera? There. See? It's
Oh, wow.
super like
It's
I think,
real
I
blue.
think your hair is so
Does
blue, it
look
makes
blue.
you look whiter.
it looks
You look
I
paler.
think I need to maybe mess with the filter a little bit now with the
like,
like
yeah,
damn,
like
that got
maybe-
really yeah. No, it's yeah.
It's a nice
fresh,
blue
it's new.
this time,
Yeah,
though.
thank you. I
Have you
appreciate
been
it.
playing any games, Steven?
Me, yes. We played Paladins over the weekend. We played a little bit more PUBG because we had some friends come by, and so we just did some multiplayer stuff with them. Nerdez started playing Resident Evil 2, the remake. Like she started playing it, and
She's playing Claire?
yes, she's
Oh,
doing
okay,
the Claire.
okay.
So I did the Leon A campaign, and she's doing the Claire B campaign.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's sort of jumping in head first into like the hardest version
Yeah.
of the game. But she's making progress, and I'm proud as shit of her.
I was so mad. I always like to play as the dudes, but...
And then then Spyro. I was playing the Spyro trilogy
You were playing that Saturday morning.
on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Oh, yeah, I saw you at work.
I really
Don't tell nobody. But yeah, I saw you at work.
thanks, Brie. Yeah, Spyro's fucking great, and it's surprisingly difficult. It has some of the things that get me about Spyro is that there are some sort of, it's a platforming game, a 3D platforming game, and for the most part, you can kind of see like at some point in the level you can see different platforms. Sometimes they kind of blend together in my head where I'm like, I think I've been up there, but I haven't.
Oh, yeah, because it's like the old one.
I'm doing both.
Oh, okay.
But even then I'm like, okay, so I see that thing is up there, but how do I get up there? And it's like, you have to blind jump off of a thing and float.
Yeah.
Kind of like stuff that maybe, some things are sort of intuitive and you're like, oh, I see how this links together.
Yeah.
But some things aren't. You're just like, it's sort of trial and error.
Yeah.
And so with chat, hey Dougie, chat will be like, thank goodness I have Spyro Sherpas in my chat, Anisama and Ywolf Senpai. They're like, go to the right, use the supercharge. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
That's nice.
that's it. What about you, Papacy?
I played so much League of Legends this past weekend.
Did you rank?
Good for
I
you.
did. I'm in Gold 1, and I'm almost into the Plat promo series. So,
Fantastic.
And we
What's the
played-
highest rank you've ever been?
Plat 4.
Okay. Does it go 4, 3, 2, 1?
Yes.
Okay.
But we played a lot of my friends at DreamHack, they were playing lots of Dota, but I played some PUBG as well. I did play Soul Calibur 6 for the first time, and I randomly played some Strangers, and I beat the shit out of them. It felt
Really?
It felt great.
So you.
Yeah, because you've been waiting on that for a while, dude.
Well, I mean, I had to play it, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Let's. We're back.
Thanks for watching up to this
God,
point.
Jesus.
And
I hit the
I
wrong
start
thing.
talking.
thank you to
and he
continue
gives-
to watch.
It's been like 2 weeks, y'all. Chill.
Yeah, give me a goddamn
Daddy,
second.
chill. God.
We sort of cut back how frequently we do the podcast because we do the monthly, like we do our game nights and stuff like that. So now I just get a little bit off. Anyway, shit. You went to DreamHack.
Yeah. DreamHack was incredible.
And you played at DreamHack. You were
I
playing.
did. I
League.
brought my own computer to DreamHack with my friends, and we had a
Nice.
great time. And it's basically 24 hours for the BYOC area, which is to bring your own computer. And you
Oh, I was thinking something else.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh, that's progressive of
could
them.
clarify, we don't bring chickens there, okay? Now, but it's lots of fun.
What?
Never mind.
He said chicken instead of cock.
I did.
See, and I was going back and forth between which would be
Okay.
funnier, Coke or cock.
Bring your own Coke.
Yeah, bring your own Coke. That's
Let's have
right.
this conversation.
But
with
there was lots of
my
awesome
boyfriends.
tournaments to watch there too. There's a $250,000 CS:GO tournament.
Oh yeah, and there was a big Halo 3
There's a
tournament, right?
big grassroots Halo 3 tournament where you could do a free-for-all $200 buy-in if you wanted to play. They also had a team tournament portion of it. There's an awesome Rocket League tournament. So watching all these pros play these is like, oh wow, I'm really bad at gaming. Like you just feel
Yeah.
destroyed.
People who
There's
play
a
Halo are good at
mobile
Halo, though.
PUBG tournament with teams.
A mobile PUBG tournament.
Like as in there's a
Like
kind of
from
a
the-
On
from
the
their
phone?
phones
on the phone,
or
yes.
the tablets.
Team to
Oh,
4.
wow.
There's a mobile tournament on that. You could sign up for that. Like I mean, there's,
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so there's a lot of fun different stuff to see and watch. And I was a winner though. I know I
Yeah,
sent
so
to you.
yeah, so I'll start with I was streaming on Saturday while you were at DreamHack. I was
Yeah.
streaming Spyro, and Calvin jumps into chat, and he goes, "Hey Steve, I'm going to try for another raffle," and he's pretty good at raffles. He's got raffle luck, and he
Have
said,
you
"But
enter raffles for me from now on.
he said I need some good juju," so I did my little or whatever.
Something
that
stupid.
I gave him some stupid, and he goes, "Okay," and so then you won.
I did win.
Where's your baby?
I'll go get it.
I thought you were gonna have it here.
Wow.
Here, stall.
Stall for
It's
time.
totally not
Oh my
in
goodness.
my backpack.
Daniel didn't steal it. I swear to God, if you steal those brownies out there, I'm gonna flip shit.
Steal me one too.
Oh my God. Would you guys ever go to DreamHack? Like,
I don't
is
know
that
what
something
that
that you'd be
is.
interested?
What is DreamHack?
DreamHack is a PC gaming convention
Oh,
in Dallas.
absolutely. Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, I probably would have gone. Wait,
Had you?
no, I probably wouldn't have been able to.
Okay,
but yeah,
in general,
yes, absolutely.
this is the kind of. So yeah, I'm thinking that maybe we do that.
I would probably go with the boys because Andrew's real into like all that computer stuff. Like he hates Apple, but he loves to watch their like reveal of their new things and like technology. Like he was so hyped
Oh,
about
like
it.
yeah.
But
So-
he's a Google person.
But he likes being in the know.
Yeah, he
for
likes
the
to be in
culture,
the know for,
right?
like,
yeah.
anything
That's part of like
technology.
why I love E3 so much. So Cal won this HyperX
It's the HyperX
Quadcast microphone. Cal won another freaking. Can't take that guy anywhere. It's true. Be free 47. You can't take this guy
That's right,
fucking
be free.
anywhere.
You know me. I always win shit. Come on, Brian.
Anyway, so this is the HyperX Quadcast, and it's really fucking pretty. And I looked up some reviews. It's like $140, $150 mic,
Also,
and it's got a lot of really cool shit on it. Like it lights up red, so you can instantly tell if the mic is hot or not just by visually looking at it. It has a touch-sensitive top, so that you can mute it just by instead of having to click a thing or whatever. And it's supposed to be just tremendous, absolutely tremendous.
The bee's knees is what
yeah,
they
we
call it. I
can
believe.
test it out
Every
here,
knee
too,
of
if we
every
need to.
bee.
So we can test it here.
Oh yeah, we totally could. We could set it right there and see how
We could. Exactly.
it goes. Yeah,
So
that's a great idea. So you spent then the weekend at DreamHack playing League, trying to rank, and winning
overcaffeinated,
stuff.
underfed, underhydrated, and playing lots of video games. It was a great weekend.
That's a good weekend.
Nice.
Seven Lions was there if you like EDM, and Trivium if you like metal. Both bands were there. I did see
I don't know who
Jeff
either of them
Goldblum,
are.
and I did have a
who
conversation.
You saw Jeff Goldblum.
I did. Jeff Goldblum was there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yo,
Jeff- And I said to
God.
Jeff Goldblum, I said, "Thank you so much for your work to Jurassic Park. Me and my friends love you for
He's
it."
kinda weird, though.
And he responded back though, "Oh, thank you very much." In a
He's
very
very weird.
Jeff Goldblum quiet manner.
JB, that was exactly what we asked him earlier. We're like, man, that is a really amazing microphone you won, completely wasted on you.
Yep.
Oh.
It's so cold.
He does it straight.
It's going to look very pretty sitting on his
It'll
desk,
be-
never
yeah.
being
Damn
used
right
though.
it is.
It is true. It's
Yeah.
true. Well, also we'll
test it out.
rope
Cal,
him into
prove him wrong.
prove me wrong. Yeah. Stream some League,
Stream
man.
those League.
Stream
Because I don't know what
anything,
that is.
ever.
And it took me forever to play that game. I'm still lost.
Jam a name on Alex. Your friend got a picture of Jeff Goldblum. Did Jeff Goldblum do his trademark stammer?
I'm sorry, I'm just reading what
Actually, waterboarded my excitement.
Wow.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, he's really quiet and reserved, and but he does that. Just like, oh, thank you.
Did you tell him how much you loved him in apartments.com?
No, I did not.
I watched
that's
his
what I
interview on the Hot Ones on YouTube where he ate hot wings, and he couldn't even eat them. He's so weird.
He's very well dressed.
Oh, he's well
he's a
dressed.
fashionable
and
gentleman.
He's a
that's
giant.
true.
Because his GQ,
He's like
his
6'5".
GQ shoe was so
Damn.
nice.
He's like 6'5". I was like, this man is huge. So like, I did not expect that. I was like, oh, in the movies, you don't get his height
He
represented
seems
well.
a slight
He seems like
frame.
maybe 6 foot, whatever. No, he's a monster.
No, he looks really tall.
He is tall as hell.
For sure.
Yeah, just tell her be blessed. She'll understand, says Game Guy. In regards to JB
It's for Goldblum.
waterboarding his own daughter.
It's for the bloom.
That'd be great. I would like to see that in the game, like a bloom effect, and then when you turn it up, like you get more Jeff Goldblum in your game.
I'm sure there's something out there,
That's
to be
good.
honest.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Okay, so here is a guest segment by Lithic Goose. And he redeemed Nerd Cred. So if you guys redeem your Nerd Cred, one of the things that you can do is create either a segment or podcast topic. If it's a big enough, broad enough topic, we can do a full podcast about it. If it's not, we'll do a segment on it. This, I think, was more of a segment. So this is about cringe-worthy moments in gaming. So here's exactly what Lithic wrote, but we can tweak it a little bit as we need. What is the most cringe you've experienced while gaming? Was it by something you or a friend said that foreshadowed the cringe? Something occurring in a game after you've delivered a line or said something. Also, worst dev instigated cringe as well.
What classifies
Exactly,
a
what
cringe?
cringe-
What classifies a cringe?
Like a toxic.
Because
and
I know
bad
a
build?
cringe, but my cringe
Or
may not
like-
be y'all's cringe because I'm pretty memey. So like, what cringe?
Yeah.
I would
Is
Was
it a
there an
normie?
example
Is
that,
it like a normie cringe or like a hardcore like I meme all
So
the time
let's
cringe?
say here's a.
I don't know.
I think I'm going to be a little bit liberal with the definition of cringe.
Okay.
Let's say you're like, oh, I got it now. I see how this boss is done. Let's go, and then like you immediately die. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like something happening, or even a cringeworthy moment. It could be something that like
a
really
mistake.
like a mistake, something that really sits wrong with you.
Okay,
like when you
okay.
see it, like. So does mom buying Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball for me count? That is
Yeah.
a perfect
would
example
say-
of a cringe moment.
I don't know. You
That's
say
not a
thanks,
cringe
Mom.
for me. That's a meme for me. That's
That's
Thanks,
funny.
Mom.
That's a thanks, Mom.
That's
You're
funny.
trying to, just give me
wouldn't
something
even say
that's
it's
really
cringe.
fun. I don't know.
I can't link Angry Cuddles videos right now. Thank you. Creeper achievement in Lollipop Chainsaw for trying to aim the camera up her skirt. Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yes, so the game does like a really funny way of calling you out. If you try to maneuver the camera to see under her skirt, you get an achievement for it that everyone
Are we
can see
talking
you've
about
unlocked.
this? Are we talking about this
gotcha.
segment
That's a
now?
good cringe moment,
Wow,
actually.
that's yeah.
But Yakuza has one as well, and that's if you take it.
Yakuza has
They have something like
an
that
achievement
too.
like that Lollipop Chainsaw one?
Yeah,
What, do you know what it is?
yeah. Are we talking about this subject right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's I can't remember if it's in the first, it's in the 0 or the first one. But if you go into the porn video area in Yakuza, and if you go and
I've been too afraid to go on stream.
so
I've been too
don't
afraid to go
it
on
doesn't.
stream.
Nothing bad happens. Nothing bad happens. I promise. But if you go in there, like it has a TV and like it has tissues, and like you sit there and he watches like this video of like this real girl, but like nothing happens. Like she's clothed and everything.
Yeah.
And then like at the end, like it just cuts black, and then it says, "I did it for the achievement."
Oh, okay.
And then
That's funny.
Yeah, and then he like comes out and it's
So I had sort of a funny kind of cringy moment where when I was first playing Yakuza 0, like you're walking around the district, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's someone was, like hawkers sort of outside the establishments, This dude goes, here, hands me pocket tissues.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was like, people just handing out fucking Kleenexes in Japan in the 1980s? Like, is there like a real bad allergy epidemic? And then I turned the camera and I realized he was standing out in front of an erotic place. And so I was like, oh.
You
I
haven't
see.
ran into that.
I thought he was trying to help me with my allergies. I didn't realize that these were just rags.
You haven't ran into like that sexy man that comes around like he has no
The
clothes
dude
on?
that just is thrusting at
Yeah.
you. Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit in Yakuza, by the way.
Japan's a
Yakuza
weird
is
place.
cringeworthy. That's a cringeworthy
That is a
game.
cringeworthy moment. Yeah, actually, and there's a couple. It's not just one dude. There's
No.
a couple of dudes that
And
show
even-
up
yeah.
sort of Walter White style in
And
their
they all have
skivvies.
like a different thing, yeah.
And one dude will just like, his animation is just the thrusty animation, so I'm just going to keep doing this right here.
Is it like me?
It's quite a bit like you, yes.
Oh, right.
If you lived in Japan in the 1980s, it would definitely be Corporate Cow.
and then he's in like the other
You fit
ones
right
too.
in.
It's so weird.
And then there's one dude who's like, "Hey, I don't have any pants. Can you let me borrow some pants?"
Oh yeah.
The dude, but the camera angle is under. So if he's standing with his feet here and his head here and no
so
pants
funny.
on, the camera angle is here, you talking, and then it's right here for some reason. It's up the undercarriage.
Yeah.
And so I sat there and I was like, oh my God, this won't change until I hit X. This will seriously sit here as long as I want it to sit here and you guys have to look at it.
Yakuza's so great.
Here's an interesting one that
Yeah.
might be a little cringeworthy.
Yeah.
I would say Yoshimitsu and/or Voldo from Soul Calibur 6, but specifically when you win a victory with Yoshimitsu on occasion, one of his victory poses is he's clapping like this with his feet and just there, just with that mask on and just clapping his feet open. And you're like, is that okay?
Are there jiggle physics in the testicular region?
Not as much, no, but it's just.
Thank you for checking. Thank you for checking for me.
Like I want to make that.
No, you knew I was going to ask that question.
I want to make that your screensaver or something. So you'll be like, what the fuck is?
That would be a good stream transition. Just Voldo's clapping legs as he goes to the next.
That would
Yeah.
be so intense.
Or yeah. Let's see. Fire Raptor spent 45 lives on a Spyro Reignited boss. I could feel that. That's like an ongoing, like cringy moment.
Let's see if I can find this.
Almost RE4 has that as well. Let's see. Oh, so here's Ani's. So I've on-off played Final Fantasy XIV for 5 years. Always mained one of the 3 healer classes, the White Mage. Be midstream. Decided to pull Scholar out of the closet. Beastmaster healer. Can't really remember half my spells. Load into a trial. Say on stream. And what's the worst that can happen? First boss, area of effect, get punched out of the arena, have to sit and stare at the dirt for 5 minutes on stream while the party finishes the fight. Right. I got this. And then you didn't. That's a perfect example. The Jill Sandwich dialogue in Resident Evil. So yes.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil does have a lot like.
Especially like even though both
I
the
hope
original
this
and the
isn't
remake.
Chris's blood. You,
Yeah.
the master of unlocking things.
The one that gets me is Albert Wesker's, no, don't open that door. And that is almost an exact read of the line, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you. No, there's a slight jiggle.
A slight jiggle.
Slight, yeah.
Oh, we're back on there.
That's good to know.
Good.
But it's really bizarre.
Okay, and I want to make sure that I've caught up with chat before we move along. Okay, excellent. A little wiggle worm. a little wiggle worm. That's right. Yeah, I think, did everybody get their cringe moment in? Did you have
I
one?
didn't really have one. I mean, when you brought up Resident Evil, like,
Yeah.
half the lines in the original, I recall being like...
Any cringe-worthy moments in like Earth Defense Force, Elite Dangerous?
I mean,
you
it's
want to
hard
play
to,
that game?
like...
Do you want to play that game?
I mean, it's not that I don't want to play that game.
Which game?
Elite Dangerous?
No, the Earth.
Oh, Earth Defense Force. Oh, yes, I do want to play Earth Defense Force.
I'm just like
It's
this here.
interesting.
Thanks, Cal.
I'm gonna just make you.
I watched Funhouse play
Don't
it.
want to. I don't need
Ah.
it. You did have the little clappy.
Oh, thank you.
It sounds like he's trying to give birth to applause.
To-
EDF is all cringe, but it's great. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because EDF does have sort of like, it looks graphically like a 3-generation-old game, but it's still somehow like fun, according to Game Guy. Is that fair, Game Guy? Going through Halo 5 on Legendary count is cringe. I'm sure that there would be moments. Halo 2 sometimes where you're like,
Oh, Halo 2 is...
because in Halo 2 on Legendary, you couldn't use each other as a spawn point. If one of you died, you both had to restart. Which is the only one in the series I think that does that.
so.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like Barfaroni. Oh man, that's funny. The English voice lines were cut by a Japanese staff based on the coolest reading of the word. So when you hear "Don't open that door," it's literally 4 different lines spliced together. Oh, interesting. I'd never heard that.
Oh.
That's that piecemeal. But also, it was sort of made to be like this homage to old horror movies. So it was made with the sort of a B-movie mentality from the get-go. So it is cringeworthy, but to me it is an acceptable amount of cringe.
Yeah.
A Resident Evil?
In the original Resident Evils, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. The
Nowadays...
new one's pretty cringy too, though.
Like 2?
Yeah, it's pretty cringy. And he doesn't have any facial, like, expression, so it really bothers me how, like, calm
Leon?
he is. Yeah. Sometimes he really bothers me about how calm he is about, like, when that guy was dying and he was just like, okay, I gotta go. And I was like, okay.
Hey, Marv, you okay?
And
Get out of here.
Like, he didn't even say anything. Like, he was just like, cool.
So I actually have a couple of... It's a good remake, and I've been singing its praises for a while.
Very
But
pretty,
I will say before we switch over to our main topic of the day, I managed to come up with a couple of things I didn't like about the Resident Evil 2 remake. And these are just my own personal things. One is just a weird thing where your character's supposed to be reacting, I guess, dynamically to the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So if they see something horrific or horrible, like, oh, what the fuck, or whatever.
Yeah.
But what it ends up happening is, like, I'll come in and I'll see, I'm like 4 hours into the game. I've seen the 1100th zombie. I aim at his head and I shoot the zombie. And Leon goes, oh, what the fuck? And but nothing is new or
Yeah.
And so he's randomly swearing. So it's like Leon's walking through and like maybe he stubs his toe and is like, fucking son of a bitch. And I'm like, are you yelling at me? Why are you so mad?
Yeah, I will say that was pretty random.
It's just, and so that's weird. But also in the original Resident Evil 2, whenever a new enemy would come in, like Mr. X or a tyrant, you'd usually have like a cutscene of like, I know that's a different thing, but and then they like come out. In Resident Evil 2, in the remake, the enemies just show up. There's no introduction to them.
Oh yeah, the way Mr. X came in, yeah.
Maybe it's supposed to feel more like mysterious, as in like, oh, what the fuck is that and what's going on? And maybe we can figure these things out by finding files or seeing more stuff about Birkin later. But because I had played the first one, I guess, probably made my view of like, oh, I guess they're just throwing them at me with no context whatsoever.
Maybe they're trying to make it more smooth transition.
Maybe.
It kind of,
but
I think they were trying to go for that,
I think
because
they're
like,
overanalyzing.
it was like a helicopter and then like, I don't know, where you're like, cool.
So yeah, in the original, the helicopter crashes and there's a cutscene. Oh, there's zombies, and
But
oh
there
god.
wasn't one.
And when you're in Resident Evil 2 Remake, you just hear,
And then you just gotta figure out
you're
what it is.
more, I guess, immersed into it.
Yeah.
But to me, it felt like, well, that was random. I guess that's that then, kind of feeling.
Yeah, I think they were trying to make it more realistic, I guess. I don't know.
Stubbing toe is realistic. That's funny. Oh, and the janky reading is pretty standard across all old survival horror. Yeah. Alone in the Dark.
Enjoy it.
Anybody ever play Alone in the Dark?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay. I think I never played that one, but I want to. Okay, so hey, Pool, welcome.
Hello.
We're going to now get started into loot boxes. So the thing that I want to ask you guys, and I'm going to start by reading off some of our social media responses, is, do you like loot boxes? So first, let's define what a loot box is in a game.
Oh yes, please do.
Anybody want to take a crack at the loot box definition? Not in terms of the legislation, because the legislation that we'll go over in a little bit has specific things about it and in it.
Yes.
How would you tell someone what a loot box is?
I would say if you're playing a game and you randomly discover something and there's loot in it, it's a loot box. Boom, it could give you something random or cool in it, or it could give you something that you're...
Do you mean something that you can come across in-game?
Right, like, look, for me, there's random capsules that I get would be considered, I guess, a loot box. By leveling up, and I get a little thing, and I can open it, and something random's in it.
I think you're describing it in a weird way. You don't mean like treasure chests in Legend of Zelda.
No.
Okay, you don't mean in the game world you come across the thing and open it and there's loot in it.
No.
You mean outside of the main game.
Correct.
In a menu, you can either acquire or earn or purchase
A loot
Correct.
box.
a treasure chest with random shit in it.
Correct.
And the treasure chest can look like whatever.
Yeah.
It can look like a chest. It can look like a bug. It can look, whatever.
Right.
Anybody disagree?
I'm glad how you understood what I was talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
wanted to make
because,
sure
like,
that you
I
didn't
was
mean
getting
in
really
the game.
confused.
No. Because
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I knew what you meant.
A loot box to me is when I'm playing Apex and they have the little loot boxes and like, yeah, I can earn them within the game, but like I can also buy them or whatever. I also consider the Fortnite Battle Pass a loot box.
Do you consider the Battle Pass a loot box?
Yes,
No.
I do.
Okay. Why?
Because I think that part of a loot box for me is not knowing what you're going to get. You purchase, either with real money dollars or in-game currency, a box of stuff.
That you have to play to acquire.
Maybe
Or not.
Or not.
Or not.
Or
You
not.
can.
Or not.
You, some games
Yeah.
you can straight up buy them with money dollars.
Just buy money, just spend money dollars like in the Old Republic, like in Smite. You just spend money dollars, and sometimes we'll give you a list of here's things that you
possibilities.
might get,
Yeah.
but you don't know what of those things you're getting.
In a
Sometimes
battle
you
pass-
have no idea. A battle pass is very strictly laid out. You
what
pay
you're gonna get.
you either pay this money dollars or you earn this much XP. You get this here, this here, this
At
here.
level 35, you
Yeah.
unlock the pirate skin.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
level 50, you
Yeah.
unlock the demon skin.
So
or
so
whatever.
to me, those are different.
Okay. So, they are scratch cards for video games, but instead of spending money for a small chance of winning money, you spend money to get in-game shit. Right. So this is essentially what I would describe a loot box being. It is a grab bag that you can pay for with either real money or in-game currency that you can earn or buy. And what you get is random. You do not know what you're going to get. So that is how we're going to describe loot box right now. So I asked people, is there anybody out there that actually likes loot boxes? That likes that? And here are some of the responses we got. John Hammock says, nope. Predatory business practice that preys on addictive personalities and justifies companies not developing actual content, just milking whales. Whales being a term for rich people. Like finding one person that will spend a lot of money on your game instead of a lot of people that spend a little bit. Sheptone says, we all know how shady they are and how they play on us psychologically, but when you open that really sweet Overwatch skin you've been jonesing for, it's amazing. Which sounds like
Exactly.
an addictive problem.
Yeah.
Sheptone, so I asked him, would you say that you like it then? And he said, if done correctly, I enjoy it. So this is another thing we'll touch on. How do you do it correctly?
I say those are free in Overwatch.
So he said Overwatch is the shining example of how to do it correctly. Now, I haven't played Overwatch, so I don't know this for sure.
Apex does too, though.
Yep.
Apex gives you free loot boxes.
Yep.
Yes.
So does League.
Yes, but
Yeah.
and giving you free loot boxes, but also charging for them
If you want.
is
you want them.
still going to be sort of that's going to be the sticking point here,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, well, we'll go. So Chanslin says it depends. If they're fun and wild, like in Borderlands, yeah. So if you get like wacky, noticeable, cool stuff from them every time, she's cool with them. But not so much if it's stuff that's not maybe noticeable. Like, oh, it changed the skin on your gun. No one's going to see what the camo skin on your gun. I would argue maybe that's pretty good because you always have your gun in view.
Especially if you're in
in like
Call
a
of Duty.
first-person shooter game.
Yeah.
So if I have a character skin, I don't see that.
Yeah.
Everybody else does, I guess. Good for them. But you know what I mean?
But like even so, like you're running around so fast, it doesn't even matter.
And then there's
Yeah.
that too. So on Facebook, there was a similar reaction. Most people said no. JB said no. Alex said nope. He just wants to buy what he wants. Jason said, I don't think the developers even like them. It probably makes them feel dirty. Pam said no. Chris Miller says, I don't mind them as long as they don't have game-breaking stuff in them in a pay-to-win kind of manner.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So that's sort of the consensus from and so now I'll ask you guys, do you like loot boxes or no?
It's really hard to say.
I
I want to say I don't mind them. Like they don't bother me.
They don't bother you.
Do you
Yeah.
like them?
I don't. It's hard because like okay, let's say I'm playing Star Wars, like the new one that came out, and the whole thing was like you have to pay to win.
Oh, Battlefront 2.
Yes.
Okay.
The whole thing was pay to win.
Trash.
If I'm paying to win, like for stats, then
Right.
no, I do not like them.
If you're paying money to if you have to, well, don't have to, but if there is a model that exists in the game
Yeah.
that allows people to pay as much money as they want
Yeah.
and be able to unlock the bigger gear and the bigger armors and the
Yeah.
new weapons and stuff like that,
then no. But if it's just for like skins or like I don't know, which
So the pay to win model you do not like.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say literally no one likes pay to win.
yeah.
I'd be fucking shocked to hear I get someone liking a loot box. Yeah, I like buying grab bags of stuff and not knowing what I'm getting. It's kind of fun and exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to go to the El Dorado and put it all on black, JB. And, you know, that's a blast. So,
hell yeah.
but nobody likes pay to win. Is that fair?
Yes. The one sort of caveat in there that I feel, because Star Wars: The Old Republic had a PvP element, but it was mostly PvE. And you could go in and spend either in-game currency or real money dollars for lightsaber crystals or armor or whatever that made you stronger. And I liked that. Actually, I guess if I had another way of getting that stuff, then I wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah.
But I liked being able to like go onto their black market or whatever and be like, oh, I want, the best yellow lightsaber that I can get, and just have it.
Let me phrase it this way and see if this makes anybody lighten up a little bit on the pay-to-win model. You're a dad. You're a new dad. You have kids at home. You love Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's the only game that you play. You only get to play it for maybe 3 or 4 hours a week. So to be able to grind and earn the best stuff is going to take you years or months or whatever. I don't have that time, so I would like to be able to just sort of get in the competitive PvP stuff that I want to do, and I'm happy to pay extra for that. Is that fair?
Yeah.
No.
Interesting. Why no?
Well, because it's built on a model, like let's use World of Warcraft as an example.
Okay.
It's built as a team and a random drop. Now, not every time that you do the raid that the things drop. So it's to continuously get you to play that game and that raid over and over. So you have the potential to get that drop to get your character potentially better and grow further to get better in the game. Now, if you just immediately buy that stuff to get better in the game, that gives no value to it.
Okay, so but here's what happens to that, and maybe you're okay with this. I'm going to throw a number. I have nothing to support these numbers I'm about to throw out there.
Yeah, we're making up random shit.
Completely making up these numbers. Let's say a third of the people that play your game fall into the category of, I have very little time to play this game. And so now you hop in and you say, okay, if you don't have time to devote to this game, because you have to have good gear to enjoy playing this game, you are always going to suck.
Yeah.
So what you've done is you've told a third of your player base, fuck off. And they will, because they will never enjoy playing that game.
And JB says, to that question, he says play a different game.
Yeah.
I don't like that. So
I don't
like
either.
play to win. I don't like pay to win.
Right.
Because it means that, rich people get better at the game faster.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do understand, I like this game. This is the game I want to play. I don't have the time to grind, so I need a way to be competitive if the game relies on you needing that stuff to be competitive.
Yeah, so and Realm is weird because it's a battle royale, but when they introduced the leveling system, I enjoyed having a thing to grind. Like, I enjoyed having a reason to log into the game, and I unlocked another level, but I feel like, because they introduced that when I was unemployed. So I maxed out all 3 of my classes in 2 weeks. And even the professional streamers who made their living streaming Realm Royale, some of them had maxed out all of their classes before I did, because I had nothing but time. And let me tell you, in that game, just because I had nothing but time on my hands for a little while until everybody else kind of caught up, I was better than everybody else.
So Ani talks about if you take up, I know I missed a bunch in chat, guys, and it's going real fast, so I want you to know that I really do care about it. If there's something that you need to say again, feel free to say it again. Ani says, if you take up golf as a hobby and you love it, but you're a new dad and can't golf as much, if there's a tournament for local players, is it fair to just be able to buy your way into the tournament as opposed to spending the time going through let's say the pre-quals and stuff like that? She says, no, that's not fair. And I say, I kind of agree with that, except I'm not talking about tournaments. I'm talking about a game that's always on.
Yeah.
If he can't play golf at all, you know what I'm saying? If he has to go earn his clubs, or he can just buy them for $1,000 just to play golf at all, he should be able to get to do that. And again, I'm not even sure that I completely believe this. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Right?
But if it's not that style of game, though, let's say it's a single-player game.
Okay.
And you know what? I want the best items in the game just to have them. Single-player game, sure, that's a play-to-win game. You're just trying to beat it with the best gear, and you want to do it quickly. Throw an extra $10, you have everything unlocked.
Yes, which is why
I'd be like,
because even though the Old Republic had a PvP element to it, it's really a single player game.
But I'd be more like, okay, I have everything unlocked. I don't have to do the work for it, and now we can just rush through the game. If you don't have that time to earn everything. But if you're talking a multiplayer game, no. Because it's your choice to play that multiplayer game and grind it out and get your gear, and that's the whole point of that type of game, is to do it with your friends and grind it out.
But I also think that a competitive multiplayer game, you should not have an advantage just because you happen to have more time on your hands than I do.
Yeah, I agree.
Or more money. So this is
exactly.
this is
So,
part
like,
of the reason why I think Battle Royale games appeal to me a lot. Is I can develop my own skill at the game at my own pace, but every match I get into, everybody starts from
The same,
square one,
yeah. Yes.
essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I like them a lot.
And that's why I disliked the level system that they introduced into Realm, because now not everybody starts at square one at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, that's a good point. Single player only microtransactions should not exist, says Game Guy. That's in reaction to Shepard Tone saying, how do you feel about pay to win in games that are single player? And then he declares, Ubisoft eat my ass. So this is actually something else. Like there are not a lot of single player pay to win games on console. Like we don't come across them a lot. Mobile is there's a lot on mobile.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to pay microtransactions to keep playing your game.
Yeah.
To advance in your
Gems
game.
to keep going.
And that's nobody likes that.
Clash of Clans.
Nobody likes that. Do we like that?
I don't even play mobile games.
No? Okay. I think so. Hey, Dotus came out of lurk to say hi and bye.
Dotus! Hi again.
Yes. And again, these are things we're gonna talk about it here in a minute. The difference between something that we don't like and something that maybe needs to be outlawed for like a safety reason, right? And so this is what we're gonna get into here. Let's see. So did you guys all weigh in on whether or not you like the loot boxes thing? I just want to make sure.
I like it if they're not payable.
So if
I like
it's
free loot boxes.
only if you can earn them in game and there's no option to purchase them.
Correct.
You're good.
Yeah. I mean, the stuff's already there, and like, you know what? Now you're just playing the game to level up, and it's just to me, it's gratifying that they're giving you free stuff just for continually playing the game. Cool.
I
And
don't
it's
mind
random.
them. I don't mind them at all. Like in Apex Legends or Destinies, I don't care, because like sometimes I just want a new skin or something.
If there is no purchasable option and you can earn them by, I'm sort of with you guys. Here's the thing that frustrates me. If in Paladins, they have a bunch of loot boxes in Paladins, right? And they have seasonal ones where this chest it has these things that you could get randomly in it.
Okay, yeah.
And one of these skins I really fucking want. You can't just outright buy that skin. If there's an option to outright buy the shit that I want, I'm a little bit better about it. Okay, yeah, we want that skin, let me buy that skin. That's fine. Cosmetic or whatever. But if we really want that Moji skin, it's only going to be in this chest, and it's random, and it's only going to be there for a limited amount of time. That means if I really want that skin, I'm going to have to continually pump money into it until I happen to get the one that I want.
Or like, as I'm going to agree with Game Guy's point on here, because of how PUBG used to be in its first year there, where you earned all your BP, which is your battle points.
Oh yeah, your butt privilege.
That you could use to purchase chests, and unlock chests, to possibly get those random pieces
I
of
do
gear.
agree that it's gambling.
And like, that was great.
You can do in
and they had-
Paladins also, I believe.
So you can earn crystals in Paladins by playing Paladins.
Yeah.
But it is at such an extremely low rate, it is practically non-existent.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
You only get crystals on the 6th and 7th day of logging in.
Right.
And it's like 15 and 25. And it takes, 125 or 300 crystals for like the minimum chest.
Because Apex takes they have the other little crystals, like you have the money, and then they have like some crystals, like the crafting crystals,
Right.
that's what they're called. Those take forever for you to get. Like you start off with I think maybe 30, but after that, after they're gone,
Right.
they take forever to get back.
And JB says this is predatory gambling. So, JB, the congressman that agrees with you.
It's been a long battle. I've been reading all of those articles too, JB.
The congressman that agrees with you is Senator Josh Hawley. Oh, I see why you agree with him. Last name.
Wow.
Oh.
Holly Bernard.
John Hawley Bernardez.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
I got it. I was with
Okay,
it.
I didn't know it was last name.
Go
fuck off. Senator Josh Hawley is a Republican from Missouri. He's also the youngest politician in the Senate. He introduced the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, which that's not. I guess that's what the bill is about.
Okay.
I just call it the anti-gaming gambling bill or something. I feel like that is a little bit of a misnomer, but it does have bipartisan support in the Senate. Democratic Senators Ed Markey and Richard Blumenthal, both of Massachusetts and Connecticut respectively, have signed on to the bill as well. Right now, it has been introduced. What happens when a bill is introduced is they work on it, it's in committee, then it comes to the floor for a vote, then it moves on from the House to the Senate. The Senate does the same thing. They work on it. They send it back to the House. They vote on it again. There's a long process here. Then once the House and Senate both agree and sign off on the same version of the bill, it goes to the president's desk, who has 10 days to sign it or veto it.
Could I
That's
maybe
how
get
laws
that
work
again in song by a cartoon?
I'm just a bill, and only a bill.
Thank you. That's right.
Sitting on Capitol Hill.
So, in terms of the actual legislation, the legislation specifically wants to outlaw loot boxes and pay to win only in games marketed to kids. So games that are, this is not part of the legislation, but it is expected that M-rated games would not be affected. Things like Fortnite would be affected. PUBG, I think, is rated T, so I think it would be affected. Overwatch would be affected, that kind of thing. Sports games would be affected. It also only will apply to games that are not released yet. So if a game is already released, it won't outlaw them retroactively. So the pay-to-win microtransactions are defined as they ease user progression, they assist in accomplishing achievements and awards that would otherwise not be possible, and permit users to access content that was previously accessible but is now inaccessible after a timer or number of gameplay attempts. So having to purchase extra lives, like in mobile games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So loot boxes, either randomly or semi-randomly, unlock a feature or enhance the entertainment value of the product, which is a really broad statement.
Yeah.
Anything that makes you have more fun. Allow the user to make one or more additional add-on transactions that the user couldn't have made without the first. So if you buy a thing and it goes, now you're eligible to buy this thing that you would not have been able to buy first, it will outlaw that.
Okay.
Unlocks content unknown to the user before the first add-on transaction, which I think is maybe what I actually just described. So it would regulate pay-to-win microtransactions and the sale of loot boxes in games marketed to minors. So the bill describes anything that's played by children or a minor-oriented game, and that is somewhat nebulous. But the sort of common theme, like I said, is that it would be T versus M-rated games, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Is this... And this is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been going on since the whole EA thing.
I live
for a while.
in
Yeah.
a cave
Oh.
under a rock.
And Shepperton,
Buried in
actually,
sand.
I'm gonna ask that in a minute.
Is this really the Pokemon Go bill? Because if so, I could get behind that.
What do you mean?
So mobile games specifically, like having the ability to, you're playing Pokemon Go, you run out of Pokeballs,
And you can buy some more.
just buy some more.
Yeah.
Like that thing specifically, that type of thing in specifically mobile games, because most of the time, if you have a cell phone, it's pretty easy to link it to an account that just goes onto your cell phone bill. So it's like your kid doesn't even have to check, doesn't have to ask mom for a credit card to put,
Unless,
get me another one.
But I also say, a lot of those things that are on the phone, there are parental settings for a reason.
Yes.
There are parental codes and things for a reason.
Yeah.
Sure.
So if your child is going to press on that to buy that, and you have a code, then they can't buy it unless they know the code.
You can on most consoles and phones that I'm aware of set those parental things. So I can even set the other Xboxes in my house to not be able to buy stuff from the store.
Yeah.
Right. That kind of thing.
But
see. Oh, and yeah, then we have this does sort of get into that video games versus as an art or as a service or however you want to define it. But I will say that Shepherd Tone, I do agree with you. The wordage seems vague enough to me that I worry about the using video games as a scapegoat kind of thing, and I worry about it having too broad of a reach in terms of what video games can do, or for setting the groundwork to be able to add on to this bill in some way to further sort of intrude upon gaming. However, the predatory practice, this is my question to you guys. Is this something the games industry should have gotten ahead of, like Shepherd Tone is saying, so that we didn't need this bill? Or is this the kind of thing where like this is something that actually does need to be regulated because it is affecting minors?
I think like when it had all started, I think all the gamers just wanted to bring attention to it. Like, I think they just wanted to be like, cool, they're making us pay all this money for like these boxes, and this is just a loot box based game. Like, no one wants to do that. But we also have to realize, like, when we call to action for things like that, like, some people are going to act on it. And like, maybe they're not acting in the way that we want, but like, this is what we wanted in a way. So like, I know they're super vague and like, they're people that really don't know anything about games, but like, what can we do now? And like, and I think it's really good that they're doing it mainly for kids and not so much for like older people, because in a way, like, it is, to me, like JV says, it is gambling to me.
Right. And so I understand needing to step in. And here's another thing that I'm going to ask you in a minute, so start sort of adding this on, because I know we're still on one other question. But would you go so far as to outlaw loot boxes everywhere, or just for the kid-oriented games?
But
like, is this we have to protect minors because of these predatory practices?
the thing is, though, I honestly think, and I don't know, maybe I'll go home and do some more research on this and then realize, oh no, I was completely wrong. But from what I just heard,
No.
I honestly think that loot boxes was an afterthought told to the bill writers writing the bill to prohibit the mobile game microtransaction thing.
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, oh, hey, well, I play this game with loot boxes. I mean, that's kind of the same, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, I guess it kind of is. And they like, I don't think this bill's about loot boxes. I think it's going to affect loot boxes. Mm-hmm. But I think that the spirit
the
of
bigger
the bill,
problem,
is the Pokemon Go, is the Ingress, is the
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush.
The thing I knew that really set this off was when EA was going to make Star Wars really loot boxy.
But that was, so you can bitch about EA all you want.
Yeah.
And I understand why you do and why most people do. But EA said, we're going to include loot boxes in our game, and it's going to be stuff that affects your gameplay. Like, you can buy loot boxes to get better stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Better weapons.
Triggered
and
everyone.
gamers said, we don't want that. And they said, oh, okay. And they fixed it. So they didn't need the legislation.
Right.
Like, they took it upon themselves.
That's why I don't think that caused the bill. I think that caused an outcry over pay to win and that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what this bill is about.
Not anymore.
Would you consider packs in a sports game as loot boxes? Under the legislation, according to Kotaku, the legislation does consider that kind of thing.
Now,
and so that would have a huge effect on sports games going forward.
Because we didn't even consider Fortnite a loot box.
Is it cosmetic be free? Is it like, are we talking like I don't know, packs for cosmetic packs for your teams, or is it just
I think it's different
packs?
players. It's you can get it because you can create like your teams and stuff. Your Madden Ultimate Team stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where you get
is it like
you can download new players,
or is it
and
players or current players,
and the players
or
have
what
different
is it?
stats.
That's what I don't know.
So
yeah, because on FIFA you can buy different characters, like different
actual players, like athletes with their own
good
stats, and some have good and some have
and you
bad.
can buy them.
So,
but I guess that's like, I don't know.
Yeah, so this will affect them going forward, and this is something that Kotaku was, I think it was Kotaku, it may have been Joystick, but Joystick's dead. Anyway.
I wouldn't consider that a
Polygon. Anyway, this will affect those games going forward if this passes, and so much so that because they rely on that much income to be able to pay for the player licenses and the stuff like that, that theoretically, this bill could theoretically destroy sports games as we know them. Licensed sports games as we know them.
Yeah.
Now, my only play with that would be yes, you can play to have these characters, but if you're going to a tournament, you have to use base game. Because the players themselves...
Which I think is fair.
Which would be a fair adjustment to that. Now, having those players themselves would be, all right, cool, I've got, like, Joe Montana as my quarterback, right?
Right.
I bought him, and he's like best stats of all time.
That is I'm not disagreeing with you.
Right.
That's a completely different argument than what the bill is about. The bill doesn't care whether you ever play a tournament or not. The bill cares about
Where you're spending money.
yes,
Yeah.
if children should be allowed
And
to
children spending money.
Yeah.
So this does have exceptions for MMOs, for DLC, like for like cosmetic stuff. I think
Right.
is is fine as long as it's like you can
Pay for the thing you
pay
want.
for the thing that you want. You can still sell stuff.
Because if I just don't understand why Fortnite would be in there kind of in a way.
Well,
because...
Fortnite has their loot box system.
Oh, they do?
They do have the llamas, right? Where you can buy the V-Bucks and then open the llamas with the random shit in them. And then you can also buy the skins you want. And you can also buy the battle pass and level up. And those things I don't think we have problems with.
Right.
It would just be the llama?
It'd be the llama.
It would just be the llama.
The llama pinatas,
not the battle.
right?
Oh, okay.
You guys fine with no sports games personally, but I know some people like it. So I do like. I don't pay $60 for them, but I like playing Madden.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not a fan of them, but I do enjoy. Like I know people who love FIFA.
Yeah,
FIFA's
I know
like
people
one of
that
the
love
biggest
FIFA
one out there.
or baseball games.
Or
Mr.
MLB The Show.
Be free like some baseball games.
Yes. So let me ask you then. Let's then go back to my other question then. Would you support the bill as is? If you were voting on it yourself, and everybody in chat, do you support this bill as I described it, as is, to keep kids in kid-related, well, anybody in kid-related, kid-oriented games from being able to sell loot boxes or a pay-to-win strategy?
I'd say
do you vote for this bill?
For to keep kids away from it? Sure. They're not adults. They don't know what they're doing.
It will keep you from buying loot boxes in
I'm gonna
Fortnite or
say
Apex
no.
or PUBG.
As a kid.
I'm gonna
No,
say
it will keep everyone, but what
Because-
they determine is if the game is oriented toward kids or not, and then that game is not allowed to sell them to anybody.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say no.
I'd still
because
support
as a
it.
parent,
You support it. JB supports
can-
it based on what he knows.
but as a parent, you can put those locks and codes on there. Like you should be, as a parent, you should be able to
You
know
should
what
be,
your
but people
child
don't
is
do that.
playing and what
So
they are
to
doing.
you,
But
this
people don't do
is
that.
a little bit of overregulation or government overreach.
Yes.
This should be a parental thing where
Yes.
you get more involved with what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, it's such a.
This is tough for me.
It's such a gray area because, like,
That's
on the
what I'm
one
saying,
hand,
it's
yes,
great.
I absolutely agree. On the other hand, okay, so what you're saying is that it shouldn't be illegal to not wear your seatbelt. Mm-hmm. You should just.
But you should wear your
But you should just wear your goddamn seatbelt.
Yeah, like
it should just be
that's
common
like
sense.
intense, dude.
But that's what we're saying here is that something
like parent-wise?
yes.
Yeah.
So something that probably should be common sense. Where do we, as a society, then decide to step in and be like, okay, not enough of you are using your common sense, so now you have forced us to make a law forcing you to not be stupid.
Yeah.
And this JB mentioned like cigarettes and vaping earlier. So like, companies with millions or billions of dollars, like big corporations that use predatory practices, the reason that we need government to step in is because we can't do anything. There's no amount of outcry we can really do
Right.
to stop that machine. So we need someone in Congress to go, okay, you're too big. You're taking advantage of people that don't really have a voice here. So now I'm going to make it illegal.
Yeah.
I'm for that. I'm for not allowing people to market cigarettes to kids.
Yes.
I'm oh, Joe Camel! He just had your best interest at heart.
Joe Campbell's the man.
Don't you want to look fucking cool?
The Marlboro Man
Joe
was
Campbell
my
was more
hero.
of a father than my father.
I am so done.
The Marlboro Man was a real man, okay?
Oh my god.
I think that was an X-Files guy.
You're so
I
strange.
think that was an actual marketing.
So as the bill is written, like I guess I would support it because I like battle passes. I like that kind of thing, and I want to be able to pay for the skins and stuff that I want, knowing what I'm getting. And if they're forced to do that, I think I'm okay with that. And keeping kids from doing it is fine. And if it's aimed toward T-related games and games marketed to kids is fine because if you buy, Halo may not be a great example, but that's going to be Gears of War 5. That's an M-rated game.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of blood in it. Obviously, kids are going to play it, but it's not marketed to kids. It's not supposed to be for kids, so we're not necessarily regulating so much what the adults are doing in the adult sphere.
Yeah.
You can still go to your casino and gamble, but we don't want kids to do it, so we're not going to have the Toys R Us slot machines, right?
Yeah.
So I think I would support this, but I do have those worries about how it affects the rest of the industry,
Yeah.
and I have reservations, and I feel weird about it.
Because I feel indifferent about it as well, but it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I just feel like as a parent, there's tools out there for you to make sure that your kid doesn't do certain things. And there's also like certain games that you might not want him to play. Like, I know my dad never lets my brother play like Call of Duty or Apex, but he lets him play Fortnite, but I don't understand the difference. You know what I mean?
One's more realistic.
And one isn't, but they both have the same thing. Like, they're literally the same thing.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you consider
wacky and zany.
card-based games loot boxes?
Yes.
Magic the Gathering,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon cards. You
Hate
go to the
it.
store, you go to the comic shop. Kids are buying packs of cards. They have no idea what's in them. You could get duplicates. You could spend $6 on a pack, and you
Well,
have all of
yeah,
those cards
No,
already.
I will say the cards do, well,
You
the
wanna know
cards
what they call
say
it?
like what you could get.
It's RNG,
What you
baby.
could,
but you could get, but
yeah.
they're still.
But
It's cool,
here's
RNG's
here's the
its
thing,
best.
and this is why I think that this bill is about mobile games and not about any other games, is because a kid can't a kid without parental supervision, even a poorly supervised kid, cannot spend his parents' money on Magic the Gathering cards.
right.
Correct.
Because
Yeah.
the
Parents'
kid,
money.
barring extreme circumstances,
Stealing or
you're,
what- yeah.
you're not. They don't have full access to the payment method all the time.
Yes, which
Okay.
is why I think this is the Pokemon Go bill.
Okay. JB says, booster decks and collector cards, you are paying for cardboard, a specific number of pieces of cardboard. I don't get
JB.
I don't get the physical versus digital thing. To me, it's still...
It's the same
It's the
thing.
same.
It is the same thing
So
to me.
okay, JB. Then in your loot boxes, you're paying for a specific number of lines of code.
Certain cards hold more value. But maybe he's got more.
Yeah,
we'll
because-
let you finish your thought, JB.
Yeah.
JB's ramping up.
JB's ramping up.
JB's got the
So a random toy from a vending machine, you put in a thing and like here's a list of toys you get. So they have these at like Walmart, right? They have the little boxes
eggs
of
or
the
yeah.
action figures, and it's going to have a random action figure in it.
Yep.
What's it going to be? But so
Jeez.
Don't scare me like that, Jesus.
you know what? Then I could just be no. Well, here's the thing, JB.
You gotta let the hate out, JB. Let the hate in
You
your heart out.
say-
Let it
hey,
out.
Well,
we're not
JB,
even
have
we're not
your
even disagreeing
opinion.
with you, JB.
Yeah.
But
we all
I feel like
totally
you
agree
think
with
we're
you.
disagreeing with you.
But we're not.
No, we're just having the conversation. And also, Twitch there's a little bit of lag and there's message breakup, so it's just part of
Yeah.
the communication.
I mean, also fuck you too, but still.
I understand if it's
Okay, no, okay, great. Digitally technically don't have a legal standing at the moment. Someone actually murdered someone for an online sword in an MMO. Digital goods technically don't have a legal standing at the moment. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Murder someone of an online game.
I'm not sure what you
for
mean by that.
A sword.
As in property? Like it's not considered.
It's not considered actual property
Might be the
mean?
thing. Like if I kill you over a car, then like
versus
the car is the
you
property.
killing me over skin in a game.
I guess.
There are similarities for sure between, say, loot boxes and card packs, but the difference for me is my first edition Pokemon cards that I still own are worth something.
Yeah. So I guess that would be a difference with cards because cards end up becoming valuable. Like,
But that is a complete gamble. Also, they might not.
yes, but in a way, like your loot box you buy digitally is never gonna be a value. Like
Well,
how?
Well, there were
They
some
can make
people
your-
that
they can
sold
make
some
your-
stuff in PUBG, right? When you
It
could
can make
get...
your account valuable.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
like
could resell
illegal.
items in PUBG.
and in the Old Republic,
Steam.
you could also resell items. Like you can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get the valuable stuff.
I don't think you
from
can do
them.
that in any other game though. Like most of the games out there that have loot boxes, you cannot do that.
Because it doesn't quote unquote exist. You can't take someone to court over a digital.
That digital T-shirt
Item.
over there,
But
you don't actually
okay.
own it. It's just
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd want to learn. I'd want to know more about that. But this is interesting. So just stuff to think about. If this bill's going to have an effect, if it goes through, this bill will have an effect. Maybe it's a positive one. And maybe it is limited in scope. We don't want kids to be spending our, money willy-nilly because these are predatory practices and the kids can't help themselves. Or even, people with gambling and addictive personalities, we want to put a safety barrier in place for that. Cool. Mm-hmm. I have some worries, have some issues. Sort of, is this the consensus? Is this not the consensus? Is anybody here like, nah, I don't like this thing at all, and I don't want people stepping in at all? Before we go to fan can.
There's still so much more about it. Like, they're still even talking about... They've been talking about this bill since, like, last year.
Yeah.
So it's changed, like, every time I read an article about it.
Yeah, and it'll continue to change.
Yeah.
Because as it goes through the House and Senate, people will weigh in. Here's the thing. The guy that introduced the bill being the youngest serving senator right now, to me, that bodes well. That's good. That's someone that is more likely to be in the know about these kind of things.
Yeah.
Like Senator Ed Markey, like, honestly, so just outing myself a little bit here, I tend to vote more on the left-leaning side, and the two Democrats that signed on to the bill are really old motherfuckers. And so I actually trust them less in this situation where I'm like, I don't know that you would have a good handle on the culture or the effect on things. And maybe you don't have to be, to want to make these kind of protections. I'm just saying.
Right. So I wouldn't say that your age determines, like, your knowledge of the world currently now at all.
I would generally
agree. But
I feel that if you were going to make judgments, a safe, like, just a blanket statement, if I walked into a room and I absolutely had to have knowledge about games, I'm not, the first person I walk up to is not going to be over 50.
But how would you even
I might eventually get to them, and maybe they do know. But, like, if you're just making judgments on, like, just, like...
I personally would go with the oldest person, because they probably, whether or not they play games currently now, they've probably played games back in the day. And, like, it's, I don't know.
Interesting.
Because
they would know nothing about...
Because they're wiser. I don't know. Like, it would just, for me, I would go with the oldest person.
Or
Because a lot of kids, like, nowadays, like, new, like, people, like, my age... People don't even play games like I do. Like, a lot of people don't play video games like they used to. They really don't. Right. And so, like, at least my age, for some reason, because we're all worried about school and college.
So the game industry will lobby them, I'm sure, as the months go by or years go by or whatever. This is going to get hammered on, and it could be for the better or for the worse. It could be like, okay, no loot boxes in general. Maybe you agree with that or don't or whatever. Just to anybody, we're not going to do it, and we're outlawing them. Okay, maybe that's a bit much, or not. Or it'll be like, okay, we're just going to really just focus on the pay-to-win stuff, like the mobile games. Like, maybe as it hammers down to that. So who knows what's going to happen. I do, in general, wish that there was always an option to buy the thing I want to buy. Always. In Paladins, there's skins that I really fucking want, and I can't get them because I didn't aim for them during the Christmas holiday season, and it's really frustrating. I remember spending $200 on Pokemon boosters just for the chance to get a Charizard, and I learned from that and don't do loot boxes. And I also am fine with earning in-game currency and getting loot box stuff.
But I still wouldn't consider cards the same thing.
You can give me $200 and I'll give you my Charizard.
I just don't consider cards the same thing because, like, after a while they become valuable.
Or
so, like,
not.
Or not, but, like, majority of the time they all become valuable. So, like, for me, like, cards don't
know if that's
like,
true.
I didn't think Yu-Gi-Oh cards were valuable, but yeah, they are.
Okay.
I also didn't know there were like $500 Magic cards out there.
All right, there's way more than that.
Yeah.
I knew a guy who bought his first house because he sold the original 5 or whatever the hell it's called. But if we did a poll on, do you remember the X-Men card game that I used to play with Jeff? What was it called?
There was one, I don't know if it was X-Men specifically, but there was like Ultimate Marvel card game.
Maybe I just like to play with the X-Men. Anyways, it was a card game just like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or whatever. You want to know how much those cards are worth?
Nothing.
Fuck off.
Nothing.
They're worth keeping you warm in the wintertime.
You just picked the wrong kind of game to play.
But that's
to be
what
honest.
I'm saying though. Is like you said most of the time, and I think that Pokemon,
I don't know what
Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic.
I don't know what the numbers would be. I don't know.
Out of how many card games have existed.
It might. I think that it is. I think your point is that it is more likely for a physical card game to hold value. not that most of them do, or half of them do, or some of them do, because we don't know the numbers on that.
Yeah.
I would concede that.
But I think what you're getting at is that if you buy digital stuff, it is extremely unlikely that it is it is comparative. It is way less likely that any of those things will have value than a card might.
Yeah.
right.
Is that fair? Is that a fair summary of what you were getting at?
Yeah. Unless you're trying to sell your whole Call of Duty or Overwatch account.
Well, and Alex said that there are some CS:GO skins that go for
CS:GO,
$30K plus.
But that's considered gambling. So
Right. Yeah. So okay, guys, this is it's illegal to sell
On
human
eBay?
teeth that are on eBay.
that's
On eBay.
intense.
So Cal pulled from the fan can tonight. If you guys want to add, I'm going to read it because I don't think I have.
Yeah, you
in a
have
long
it
time.
in a while.
If you guys want to add a question to the fan can, it's basically an Ask Me Anything can. You can tweet us at GutterNerds using hashtag FanCan. If you guys are subscribers, you can join a Discord and keep the conversation going.
Talk about cards.
Or just discard it.
The loot boxes.
Yeah.
But you can also redeem Nerd Cred to add a question to the fan can. Here's a question: Nerd smash tourney win.
What?
Me?
Again?
We had a smash day, but we didn't have a smash tourney.
That I would win?
Oh, okay.
That's what...
I did my best, okay? I did my best for not ever playing that game.
When you say Smash tourney, I think N64 because that's the original Smash. It does not specifically say Melee. It does not say...
Okay.
No, it just says smash.
It just
Here's the
says
thing:
Smash.
I can't. Maybe I can. Maybe I can stream 64 Smash on the Wii by downloading the 64 version from the Wii channel. I don't have a way to plug my
sounds
N64 into the capture card. I would have to
Right.
get a converter,
Yeah.
and that converter would look like ass. I typically prefer things to look a little cleaned up, even if they're not like
Have you played the new one?
completely up-res. Yeah, new one's great.
Yeah.
So we could do. So let me. Oh shit! If we online is dead, then damn. I'll smash you, Steven. Thank you, Game Guy.
Want to hear a funny idea, though? Think of an N64 controller. Everyone now mentally imagine an N64 controller. So the middle portion of the controller.
The dick?
The dick, yeah, the dick of the controller. That's got
Oh,
the
wow.
nub and the trigger.
The scrub.
Are you
Yeah,
the only one who
that
calls
is-
it that?
Now
Never heard that
that's
before.
now imagine
It's the first time I've heard it.
Oh, I thought that...
now imagine a Wii nunchuck controller.
Uh-huh.
It's just the middle portion of a 64 controller. Just
Yeah.
the nub and the trigger.
You do know that you can play with the old controllers on the Switch now as well.
Oh right.
The old N64 controllers?
Yeah,
or
they
the old
have 'em.
GameCube controllers.
Both.
Really?
They have all the controllers out for the Switch. They're just wired.
Yeah, Game Guy said he'd smash me. He's a real good dude.
Step your game up, Cal.
For common knowledge. You know what? Thank you. Thanks.
Okay,
JB.
so here's the answer to the question, I guess. Pretty soon we're gonna wind down the Thursday streams. We're not gonna do the Thursday streams anymore. Once we finish Resident Evil 2. But what we will do is what that opens us up to be able to do is do special event streams, and they won't happen every week, but we'll be able to do things on either a Thursday or Friday night, depending on what's going on,
late night.
or even maybe on a Sunday or something. But we can sort of plug in special event streams if I take one standard one away during the week.
Right.
So what we'll do is in the next few weeks, when we wind down Resident Evil 2 and get through that, then I think the first thing that I want to do is a Smash tournament, like a 16-person bracket-style tournament. And I think it's going to be Melee. I think that's what I would like to do.
Can we do that with Halo
For
2?
how much?
For how much?
How much?
Okay, mines are $200.
Whoa.
Okay.
Like the Halo 3.
I'm out.
So Smash
I'm
and
out.
Smash Melee specifically, I think you said you would play anyone for any amount of money at any time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did say that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I said that about any Smash.
Any Smash?
Yeah, any. I think it was any Smash.
Melee.
I'm gonna get a pro player against you.
Gonna be me.
Anybody for any amount.
JB, you're too much today. Cracking me up.
Yeah, also, quick shout out, JB comes back next week.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring him
Yep,
in
he made
for
that known.
streams.
We are having an intense conversation.
He'll
when he
make
comes
appearances on the podcast as well. So we're,
I think I can
preemptive welcome home.
give JB my spot next week. So I have to work.
Yeah.
What are we doing for
You
E3?
could be me, JB.
Let's touch on that. Guys, if you guys are watching on Twitch, hang out. Because we're going to wind down for those of you listening on audio or watching on YouTube. This is where we will leave you. But if you want to stick around and listen to some stuff about E3 and SoonerCon, then hang out. Because I'm going to be at SoonerCon this weekend. Panels and stuff.
I want to say it's.
I know, me too now. I do too.
My name is Steve-O.
Calvin.
Bree.
Raven 1.
See you guys next week.